We've had the debacle, of course, of the latest, episode of the soap opera that is Harry and Meghan. Well, how did you feel? What did you feel about it? Yes, I was just mesmerised by the caramel outfit once again and the ever-changing face of Miss Markle. You never seem to see the same face again, do you? Whatever, it's a little bit like Batman and the Joker. You know, you kind of think, what colour will you be today, dear? And she never really never really fails to surprise, does she? But what's interesting about this particular interview, for CBS is in one of their very sort of prestigious slots. The definitely left-leaning CBS was the company of choice simply because, they're really trying to remarket Meghan in a different light, as you can imagine. But here as ever is where it gets really interesting because the control behind this is phenomenal when you think. And given the fact that this is a lady, Jane Pauley, who's allegedly a respected interviewer, we don't know her over here. I'm sure she has a following in the United States, but over here, not really known at all. But here's interesting insight into what went on behind the scenes as ever. Let me explain. Hi, how are you? Yes, I'm all right. Yeah, well, I know. We'll just have a quick... No, you won't. We'll have a wave. We will have a wave. To all the chums out there, thank you as ever. Nice to have your company. Chums and friends. Do you know that expression, chums? I think, does it still go around the world? I'd love to know. Because friends, everybody, when you say that to young people, they just think of the TV series, don't they? Isn't that funny how that show, though, has resonated right through into a younger generation? I was never that much of a fan. I did interview a lot of the stars at the time, but was it your thing? No, I prefer things like Man About the House, Are You Being Served? I thought this sort of, I don't know, a little bit cheesy for me. Am I wrong? Well, do let me know. I know you will. Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Yes, this was enlightening, wasn't it? What was it called? The Parent Trap or Parent... I'm not quite sure. I lost interest in what the whole plot was, really. But of course, there were Harry and Meghan having a chat. Oh, all off the record, of course, And it's interesting, isn't it, when you look at these things, because you can just see how choreographed they are. The fact that in the shot of Jane Pauley, she's in the veranda thing, Meghan has to be in the background. You notice that her vision has to be there, and of course she has to walk in first. She's the most important one, when really everybody was only interested in Prince Harry. I've told you time and time again, people have pushed her out the way to get a picture with him. Nobody cares. But the controlling aspect was this, and this is the piece that I really wanted to highlight from that, because Meghan never truly stops attacking our wonderful British monarchy. You see, if you remember when she sat down with Oprah Winfrey, she was very much retailing the story about how when she first met William and Catherine and the formalities, and there she was barefoot in jeans. Well, they wouldn't care about that. But, no, she wanted to point out how she was just a nice person and a hugger, and apparently William and Catherine weren't. Well, in that, you'll notice, of course, that Jane Pauley had to insert that voiceover. It wasn't there originally. Trust me, that had to be put in on Meghan's insistence, simply because she wanted a dig. These two are definite huggers, if you remember the line. Now, it's just embarrassing and desperate to keep wanting to do this. But clearly, whether Harry cares or not, it's a continual battering from her end. And every time she does it, she loses more people, more faith from people. But the bottom line is, it is the Meghan show. As I told you before, what was fascinating about it, you can see the way that their script that she wrote alongside the CBS executives and her agency and her management team, that was the final thing that she wanted to get across. As ever though, she's not clever enough, and this is truly once again backfired. Oh, ratings wise, well, let's just say it didn't reach the normal slot it did on CBS. Even the clips have failed to, shall we say, spark a light. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.